Before he was clapping back at Skip Bayless and going viral for meme-worthy takes on LeBron and GOAT debates, Shannon Sharpe was tearing up NFL defenses. But how good was he really? A stat-padding trash talker? Or a game-changing tight end who reshaped the position forever? Today we're diving into the real story of Shannon Sharpe, the man, the myth, the tight end legend. From 7th-round pick to Hall of Famer to undisputed superstar, this is a journey you don't want to miss. And by the way, if you love stories that mix sports, culture, and a little bit of smoke, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Humble beginnings. Shannon Sharpe wasn't supposed to make it. He was born in rural Glenville, Georgia, raised in poverty, often sharing clothes and struggling to make ends meet. While his older brother Sterling Sharpe made waves early at the University of South Carolina and then in the NFL, Shannon took a less glamorous path to Savannah State, a tiny Division II school no one was watching. Pushpin anecdote. "I was too dumb to be scared," Sharpe once said. "I didn't know how hard it would be to make it." At Savannah State, Sharpe dominated with freakish numbers. Over 1,700 receiving yards and 18 touchdowns in a single season. But still, scouts doubted him. Too small. Too slow. Not NFL material. He was drafted in the 7th round of the 1990 NFL Draft by the Denver Broncos. Pick 192. That's right, 192. A future Hall of Famer was almost completely overlooked. Early struggles, then the switch. Sharpe came into the league as a wide receiver. But things weren't clicking. In his first 2 years, he caught just 29 passes combined. So what did the Broncos do? They moved him to tight end. And boom, something clicked. The mismatch was instant. He was too fast for linebackers, too strong for safeties. And his chemistry with John Elway? Chef's kiss. Bar chart from 1992 to 1998. Sharpe averaged over 64 receptions, 800 yards, and 6 TDs per season. In an era when tight ends did not put up numbers like that. Breaking the mold. Shannon wasn't just a good tight end. He redefined the position. Before him, tight ends were mostly blockers or occasional short yardage targets. Guys like Mike Ditka and Kellen Winslow Sr. laid the foundation, but Sharpe turned the position into a weapon. He was essentially a wide receiver in a tight end's body, running deep routes, working the seams, and making clutch catches when it mattered most. And oh, the trash talk. He was calling the National Guard mid-game, literally, mocking defenders with that signature smile, and keeping microphones working overtime. Career highlights and rings. Trophy. Sharpe's career had it all: Pro Bowls, All-Pros, and Super Bowl rings. 3 times Super Bowl champion, 1997, 1998, 2000. 8 times Pro Bowler. 4 times first-team All-Pro. Hall of Fame class of 2011. In 1993, he caught 96 passes, a tight end record at the time. In 1997, he helped lead Denver to its first-ever Super Bowl win. In 2000, with the Ravens, he was the veteran leader during their iconic defensive championship run. Pushpin anecdote. Against the Raiders in the 2000 AFC Championship, Sharpe took a short pass 96 yards for a touchdown. That wasn't just a big play, it was the entire offense. Baltimore only scored 1 touchdown that day. His stats don't lie, but they don't tell everything. Let's talk numbers. 815 receptions, 10,060 receiving yards, 62 touchdowns. That made him the all-time leader among tight ends at the time of his retirement in 2003. But here's the thing, Sharpe didn't play in today's pass-happy NFL. His numbers came in an era dominated by defenses and running backs. No soft coverage zones, no fantasy-friendly schemes. Imagine what he'd do with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Joe Burrow slinging him the rock. Fire hot take. If Sharpe played today, he'd be putting up Travis Kelce-type numbers, if not more. Cultural impact and legacy. Beyond the stats and rings, Shannon Sharpe mattered. He was unapologetically himself. Loud, funny, southern, country, sharp-witted, unfiltered. And he showed young black kids from the South that you could make it without faking it. And post-NFL, he became even more influential. On Undisputed, he turned into a viral icon. From the Hennessy jokes to the GOAT mask to his fierce defenses of LeBron James. And now, with Nightcap and other podcast ventures, Sharpe is setting the standard for athlete media. No fluff, no PR script, just real talk. The GOAT conversation. So, where does Shannon Sharpe rank all time? He's not as flashy as Kelsey, not as robotic as Tony Gonzalez, not as physical as Gronk. But in terms of total impact, chart-increasing Sharpe is a top 3 tight end all-time without question. Kelsey and Gronk have the modern-era edge. Gonzalez has longevity. But Sharpe changed how tight ends were used and, more importantly, how they were viewed. He showed teams that a tight end didn't just need to block and chip. He could dominate. Thought balloon question for the audience. If you were building an all-time team, who's your TE1? Gronk, Kelsey, Gonzalez, or Sharpe? Lesser-known facts. Here are a few facts you may not know about Shannon. He had a 3.4 GPA in college and graduated with a criminal justice degree. He's a fitness fanatic. Even now in his 50s, he's shredded like an Avenger. He once said, "If not for football, I would have been a garbage man. Not because I'm dumb, because they had benefits." Fire that mindset. That's hunger. That's the chip he carried his whole career. And that's why when you hear tight end, you better include Shannon Sharpe's name. Otherwise, you're just not telling the whole story. From Glenville to Canton, from 7th rounder to viral sensation, Shannon Sharpe is a story of belief, grit, and brilliance. He wasn't just good. He was generational. So, how good was Shannon Sharpe actually? 100 points. Answer: better than you remember. And maybe, just maybe, the most influential tight end of all time. Backhand index pointing down. Sound off in the comments. Where do you rank Sharpe in the tight end GOAT list? And if you love this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell. We've got more NFL legends, deep dives, and GOAT debates coming your way.